So, if you're not aware, there's been a push to begin a congressional investigation and inquiry into the events that took place on January the 6th, the siege at the Capitol. Something similar to the 9/11 Commission report. The Republicans in the Senate are trying to block it. There's been a lot of talk about this. I want to speak for a moment why this is important. There's a gentleman I watched on MSNBC that spoke about this shouldn't happen again, and school kids should be safe to go to the Capitol, and that's not it. This isn't about school kids, and this isn't about a building in Washington, D.C. This is about a message. I was thinking about this yesterday. I've been having discussion with different friends of mine about how basically white supremacy became violent, how it turned into the militia movement, like how it kind of went in the closet, it kind of went underground. That if you go back in time, there were guys that were in the Klan, they would be in deacons of several churches, they'd be in different fraternal societies. And it was about networking and being a part of their community. And how that kind of started to change in the 80s to where you got the Montana Freedmen, Waco, Ruby Ridge. Well, that was in the 90s. Those were in the 90s. But that's where you started, your Timothy McVeigh, your Eric Rudolph, other characters. That's where that started to really pick up at. That, hey, if you're a Klansman, you're probably not going to go very far in the police. You're probably not going to get to the higher ranks. That's not okay. Now, it's not at all, but back then that's when it started. We can't have this. This isn't okay to be open about this stuff. I think January the 6th was the culmination of this. I don't know where you put it on a timeline, but this is kind of like, it's kind of like you had the Oklahoma City bombing, you had other things, the bombing at the Olympics in Atlanta. You've had these things, and this was kind of like the culmination of it, where I call it, they stepped in the street. They put their boots in the street to say that, hey, we're white, we're conservative, and we'll take this bitch. We'll take the government. We'll take on the government. We're willing to step into lines of fire here. And I don't think most people were aware that it's that serious. People might know about Eric Rudolph, okay? I remember my mom talking about it when I was a kid, that my grandfather talking about it, that she thought that he knew somebody he was staying with. People talked about this stuff. But I don't think the average person would have believed January the 6th, like that could happen. That people could just say, you know what? We're going to run up in here and take folks hostage. Right? We're going to run up in the speaker's chamber. We're going to do all this. No one's going to stop us. And the police are going to pull guns and point guns at us. And we're going to run towards the guns. Crazy, huh? The importance of this commission is very simple. A message needs to be sent. This can't happen again. It's not about the state, this geographical location, the capital. It's just about that. You've seen a lot of this Blue Lives Matter stuff. The flag with the blue line. You've seen a lot of that shit everywhere. Which is to say that, we back the police, that, the police hold society back from anarchy. People believe that. Okay. If Republicans block a commission and a congressional investigation with all the powers that they have to investigate what happened at January 6th at the insurrection, they are in essence saying blue lives only matter when they're killed or they're beaten or they're attacked or they're assaulted by our political enemies. Which I already believe that. I already believe that what Blue Lives Matter is about. It's about supporting police for their original mission, which is to keep them niggers out these neighborhoods, to keep them under control, to suppress them. Social control. That law enforcement isn't about stopping the poisoners and the dopers and you know, the violent criminals and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's social control. It's suppression of people that we don't like. Social movements that we don't agree with. Keeping them suppressed. I think that, like I said, I've already said it. I think that if they are successful in doing that, that's what they're telling the police. Blue lives matter. Oh yeah, blue lives matter when you beating some nigga somewhere. When you choking some nigga out on the ground somewhere. Yeah, blue lives matter then. But if you run out here and a bunch of rednecks are in the street with the Confederate flags and the guns, and something happens, and you get killed, your life doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, the Republican Party values are on display here. That's what this is all about. This is about values. These are the moments that define us. And this is a moment that will define the Republican Party. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I heard about a cop that had his legs broken. I heard about a cop that was, I don't know if he was blinded or almost blinded, both eyes. I heard about one that had to go like 7 doctors. I think one of them got beat over the head with a fire extinguisher. If you choose to block a congressional investigation into what happened, you are telling those officers, you don't mean shit. Yeah, you got hurt. So what? That's the point there. It's like I said before about the vaccine, when the guy was talking about how the vaccines are going to make us gay, they'll make the kids gay. And I think that's a value statement. This is early on, like back in 2020. That's a value statement. You're saying I would rather die. I'd rather have my family die. I'd rather have my children die of a curable disease. It's pretty bad. It's like you're suffocating and you can't breathe, and you'd rather die of that than take the chance something make you gay. I said it. That's a value statement. You can't argue with values. I can argue with science. We can disagree on science. We can disagree on policy. I can never disagree with a man on his values, because values are what you bring to the table. That's what you were raised with. That's what you've grown to believe. That's your spirituality, your religion, your family. You know, maybe on subject. I just think that what the Senate is doing is they're sending a message to the whole world. They're sending a message to all of us of what their values truly are. And if their values are, as I said, if you are police and you die fighting some rednecks somewhere, even if they're breaking the law, we don't go too far on that. We don't take that. Yeah, that was wrong. They shouldn't have beat those cops. So what? I mean, there's a video of a guy beating a cop with a flag. And I put that in my head. I don't know what that is, but I put that in my head. It's all bullshit. You support blue lives as long as it's suppressing us. But other than that, you got nothing for these cops. And that's very clear by your values and by your intentions with this congressional investigation. Thanks for listening.